We back with another episode of Prison versus Racism. This documentary, we have Maurice here, a guest today, and we're gonna discuss a few things, ask him a few questions about racism, and we're gonna get right into it. First of all, have you ever been incarcerated?
Yes, I have.
All right. So, by being a man of incarceration, have you ever faced racism in jail or on the streets? Like, if you have, which one outweighed each other?
It was the same everywhere. It's just everywhere. I just seen it everywhere. My whole life. School, prison, neighborhood, the city that I live in versus the city that's next to it.
So, when was the first time racism was real for you? Like a direct situation? And how old were you?
Man, I could probably say I was probably like in the second grade. I don't know how old I was though. But like this little girl, she was well, a friend or whatever, you know. And you know how you young and you don't know no better, but you talking to a boyfriend, girlfriend talk. That was shut down immediately. You know, like nah. And she got moved around, like they separated that instantly.
Did okay, so at that being the incident, did you ever did it affect how you dealt with like approaching other races, like from that point on?
I was too young to really understand it then. So nah. But as I got older, I started, certain things stood out. You know, you see how they talk to you versus how they talk to them, how you can go over here in this city and walk the streets and be trouble free. But you go to your own neighborhood and you gotta duck and dodge from these police cars and these police riding your neighborhood. You know, like, you see where they live versus where you live is totally different.
So you mentioned the police a couple times. How often have you had racism happen to you from dealing with police on the street and in the prison system?
A lot. The police, from the time I've been a little boy, have always said they judge, jury, and executioner. You know, like, remember that song, what 911 is a joke?
Yeah.
That was a real thing. When it came to us, we wasn't no emergency.
So, do you think that affect the way you look at them as far as like protecting neighborhoods since you wasn't an emergency? Do you think they like actually policed your neighborhood, or was it still like a racist thing, they didn't come around?
They patrolled down the neighborhood like predators. You know, just snatching anybody up and frisking them. And once they made it legal to pat frisk, you know, where they could just come and make you lay on the ground or get up on the wall, and they pat your pockets, make sure you got no weapons or nothing on you, as long as they don't go in your pockets type situation. That gave them too much power. They just did what they want with that and just used it as it was a stock. It was a pat frisk.
Okay, how do you think that affects the way you see police now?
It made me where I still try to stay away from them as much as possible. If I ain't got to come in contact with them, that's the better off the day I can have.
But how would you explain the emotion? Would you explain it as fear, or would you just explain it as being cautious? Like, in your own words, how would you explain that?
It's like going out in the jungle and worried about the animals. You know that if you get caught by the wrong gorilla, he's gonna tear you apart. You get caught by the wrong lion, bear, elephant, whatever. That's what it's like with the police. They predators. They prey in neighborhoods where, you know, if you always looking for something, you at some point you're gonna start making up shit. So I was talking about something, making up stuff so you can have something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very understandable. a question that I do want to ask: what would be your advice to somebody young if you had to give them like guidance about racism? Somebody young and black, maybe from your same neighborhood or like the same neighborhood. What would you tell them, like before you send them out?
I would hope that they have some understanding of it, because we all heard about we all seen the Trayvon Martins and all these other kids who reacted too quick or didn't know how to got scared and ran and got shot in the back, and died. It's too much of that. So I was giving a speech when I was young about the police, like just let them talk, don't say nothing, don't have your face looking all mean, you know what I mean? Just get on out your way as quick as possible.
So you think without those certain rules, for the youth or for you, if not having those rules, you think it affect how you see racism? If somebody not telling you, or you think they're gonna learn on their own if somebody don't tell them?
Like, it's sad, but you pick up on racism at an early age. Like, you start seeing how they view you by how they treat you versus how they, like, you can even see with the teachers, they're a little more quick to run the black kids out of the class instead of, whereas one little white kid's having a bad day, she tried talking to him and try to talk him down and figure out what's going on instead of just saying that, oh, he can't be handled, send him to the principal office because she don't feel safe dealing with him.
So do you think racism is a long-term effect or have long-term effect abilities?
It's lasted hundreds of years. I mean, I don't see it going nowhere too fast.
Well, let me rephrase that on the mental level for a person of color. Well, I'm gonna say a black person in America. Do you think racism is a long-term effect for them?
Yes, we're gonna always have racism. It's just how they justify they nonsense. They keep this guy hating you, saying that you the problem when really they the one stealing from him, And as long as they simple-minded enough to look at you as being a problem, it's gonna always be that way.
Okay. Well, hey, we're gonna wrap it up here. I definitely appreciate you coming on and giving your experience, talking to the youth and all that. I definitely appreciate it, and we definitely gonna keep it going. Again, thank Maurice for coming. I'm gonna give him praise because it takes a lot of courage to come on here, y'all. We not blaming nobody. We are making awareness. We want everybody to be aware of what it go through. We are everyday people. So, peace, y'all. You'll see part 3 coming soon.